Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's up, CRECies? This is Brandon McGee. Y'all know who I am. I'm really happy to be here to celebrate Black History Month here with all of you CRECies and our amazing guests that we've had to come on to be a part of our lunch hour, our weekly On the Shoulders of Changemakers series. And today, I had the opportunity to interview Francine Austin, Auntie, I call her. But nonetheless, Francine, who is no stranger to the greater Hartford community, I would dare say the state, and even, y'all, you go to Martha's Vineyard, you'll check out there as well. But we're not going to talk about that. Today, we are talking about the importance of Black entrepreneurs and the success of those entrepreneurs. But before we jump into all of the sort of canned questions, Francine, tell us a little bit about you. Like, I can sit here and read your bio, but I think you could do a better job telling us, who is Francine Austin?
Thank you so much, Brandon, for having me. I really do appreciate this. And like he said, his auntie, and love back to your nephew. So with that said, let me tell you a little bit. My name is Francine Austin. I am a proud Hartfordite. And if you don't know what that is someone who was born and raised in Hartford and very proud of it. So you will hear that throughout this interview today. I am also the owner of Francine Salon and Day Spa, which has been in business for over 27 years.
Wow.
That. I am also the owner of Francine Entertainment and Marketing, which is a multicultural, competent, and globally inspired strategic marketing and PR communications agency. We specialize in unforgettable experience that drive engagement with consumers and brands. We set high standards, and one thing about me, I get results.
Wow. So, you know, we talk a little bit about your experience in the business sector, being a small business owner. But before you got there, you were in corporate America. So talk to me a little bit about that experience and what prompted you to just take that leap of faith and do what you've always been passionate about. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So, Brandon, I was born an entrepreneur. I was born an entrepreneur. So as we all know, especially as an African-American, your parents, God bless, my dad who recently passed, and my mom, they were hard workers. My mother was a nurse. My dad worked in the engineering field. So I had great examples in my home. Right? I had great examples of hard work, dedication, but more importantly, I had great examples of dedication to your community and to humankind, right? Mm-hmm. Growing up, I had the opportunity to work side by side with my parents right here within the community, volunteering, understanding the importance of the collective work that we do together in order for us to strive. Mm-hmm. So when growing up here, my uncle owned a supermarket on Barber Street, which right now Howard K. Hill is working on that with the Renaissance Project. He also owned a nightclub, a restaurant on Albany Avenue. So
wait, did you say Barber Street?
On Barber Street, yes, he did.
Wow, born and raised on Barber Street, baby.
Yes, a supermarket. He owned a nightclub. He owned the restaurant on Albany Avenue. My brother was an entrepreneur in telecommunications. So I was accustomed to seeing entrepreneurs. I was accustomed to seeing people do community service. And for me, I really didn't look at it as community service because in my household, it was something that we knew it was the right thing to do. Our community was our family. Mm. Education was important. And we all strive towards that. It was a common goal that was unsaid because we knew the shoulders that we stood on. We understood what we had to do. So for me, growing up, again, I was always an entrepreneur. You can ask anyone in the community. I was the one that was always organizing the parties in school. I ran the school store at Annie Fisher School. I was the person that put together Junior Ring Day at South Catholic. I was the person that had the lemonade stand. I was the person that always came up with ideas on us to exhibit our talents right here within our community. I would turn my basement into a stage for our community, and I would have people within the community reading poetry, telling stories, dancing, whatever it took. I did it, and I would invite parents. So for me, I was always business minded, and my siblings were older than me, and I was the one that would come up with the ideas to host parties for them to make money. So it was something in me. There was always that drive, right there within me. But of course, during that time, people weren't really encouraging young Black people to start their own businesses, right? At that time, we were the next generation. They did what they had to do so that, in a sense, they thought what we should do, which is
when you say they, are you talking about your mom,
our parents, our aunts, uncles in the community? And I'm sorry about that. They did everything they could do to ensure we had successful careers, to ensure that we had education and every opportunity, brought to our attention and for us to take full advantage of. So that meant going to private school. That meant going to college. That meant go and get a job. As we know in our community, we love to say that big job.
So, I've read many places, and we're all familiar with Black Wall Street, et cetera. And we also know that the key to closing the racial wealth gap is Black entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
And, I could go on a whole tangent on a history lesson about the Tulsa Race Massacre, what happened there, and all of the Black businesses that went down the drain. But I want to be able to shed light on the importance of Black folk like you creating business opportunities, creating space, as you've already mentioned, you've been doing for quite a long time, for folks in our community to come together, but also to give back. So before I have a bunch of questions, talk to me a little bit about as a Black entrepreneur, the challenges and the weightiness of you being a business owner, trying to maintain your livelihood, but also this unsaid expectation of you having to give back. And not in a begrudgingly type of way, but in a way that it supports the development of young people in our community. So real simple, like, how have you been able to balance business and giving back? Because you give back a lot. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, Brandon, to be quite honest with you, I never really gave much thought to it. Like I said, I just know it was what I was supposed to do. And that balance, I'm going to tell you, I don't get to call out. There's nobody for me to call. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you better love what you do, because you are going to work and you're going to work hard. There's no harder boss than the boss that you are, okay? So for me, entrepreneurs and small businesses have been the cornerstone of our community forever. They, deserve the right to profit from the spending that they have generated within our own community. As far as I'm concerned, I've never given much weight to what anybody has ever thought or said in regards to me and business. My reputation speaks for itself, and that is because I try to bring my best self forward, and I try my hardest to do the best in my business, right? And the balance, you look at, people always tend to say, well, how do you do it because of finance? Well, I'll tell you this. Once you bring your best self and you do the work, and you do the work because you love it. And when I say you better love it, you better love it, okay? Because when you love it and you love it like that, everything else will follow. And it'll just come.
So I'm here to pull out in you some of the things that you don't necessarily talk about because you just do it. So like, you're a huge champion there at the YMCA. You are a champion to helping young girls and women go after their dreams. You create opportunity and confidence in so many women, from folks sitting in your chair at that salon to providing branding experiences and marketing for many of these businesses, and taking ideas literally from conception to reality in most cases. Talk a little bit about all of that.
Okay. So when I started my salon and day spa, like I said, I started my salon and day spa, not really to do hair. I created it to be a safe place that was a professional safe place that gave women of color of a certain caliber an opportunity to come together collectively with women that look just like them.
Wow.
And in turn, the idea was for each of us to come together and mentor young men and women to aspire towards Black excellence, in all honesty.
That's right.
So when it's been about, in all honesty, it's about 15 years. I don't even work in the salon anymore. I still own it. But what I did and what was important is that my mentee now, who is actually in law school, who I absolutely love, who started out with me at 15, who now is finishing her first semester in law school. I'm so proud of her. But she runs the salon now.
Wow.
So the opportunity
you mind naming her or no?
Oh, no.
Please
I have no problem.
Her name.
Her name is Jamil White. I have no problem with naming her. And I am so proud of her. And all of the women and friends that I have, we have all come together collectively to ensure her success. So in turn, Jamil came to volunteer with me at the Wilson Gray YMCA as a volunteer herself. So
it's a mentor-mentee going out and giving back.
It is, that's what we're supposed to do. So, I now am looking back and am inspired by her. I am so proud of her, but it's not just her, it's young men and young women. I sit on the board for Junior Achievement. And I was a recipient. I was in Junior Achievement while I was in high school, right? So now I look back and I said, look at this, I'm working, sitting on the board for Junior Achievement. I was like, how, full circle. But mentorship is very important to me, because not only do I mentor, I myself have mentors. And sometimes you will find yourself even mentoring to your mentors.
That's right.
In life, you have to have a pusher and a puller. You have to have a pusher to push you over the line and a puller to pull you the rest of the way.
Well, you preaching up in here on this lunch break.
Okay.
This is good. Wait, can you repeat that again? So you said you have to have
I said you have to have a pusher
and a puller.
And you have to have a puller. Your pusher will push you beyond your fears. Your pusher will push you where you don't think you belong. And your puller will open the door and let you know you belong here and carry you the rest of the way. So I call them my pushers and my pullers. And in turn, I do the same thing. Like I said, mentorship is reciprocal. It really is. And it's so important. I tell people about empowering one another and empower each other with the skill set, but empower them with the words, the confidence, the support that we need. I find that sometimes with women of color that we always feel like the pie is so small that it can only be one. But in fact, the pie can be multiple pies. If we understand how great we are collectively, we can have a shop of pies, So there's room in this space for all of us, not just one of us. They have led you to believe that, but there is room for all of us. And if we understand that and work collectively together, we can, it's just amazing what we can do. And and we can see that right there with, Michelle Obama, who is.
Well, I was going to say, first of all, I remember you and Lorna Little hosted an amazing conversation panel discussion there at the Wadsworth one year.
No, that was me. Lorna wasn't here. She
wasn't here. Okay, it was you. I know it was you.
So it was me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joelle.
Yeah, it was Joelle, Tammy Exum.
Yes.
It was Joelle, Tammy Exum, Terrell Hill,
yep.
Brandon Frame, and Charmaine Hill. And yep. And
was it to talk about her book or their book? It was something around.
Well, it was to talk about, again, I understood the importance of the Amistad. So this book talk, the proceeds benefited the Amistad, right?
Got it.
So this was about becoming your best self, to discuss her book, because it was beyond that. For me, when I read Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, because I'm a big Michelle Obama fan, trust me, in my mind, I am Michelle Obama's #1 fan, okay?
But let me tell you something, and you are our Oprah Winfrey here in the state of Connecticut. I remember that being.
I always say that's Florida. I said that's Florida. I said we kind of like a balance here. I said, well, some days we Gail and Oprah, both of us, and then some days I'm Michelle. Sometimes she Oprah. Sometimes. So it's I call it as interchangeable depending on the mood. But
wait, go back to Becoming, because I threw you off.
Yeah, right. No, it's okay. You did throw me off. It's all right. But Becoming was an opportunity for us to talk about. Michelle opened the door for us to have a discussion about becoming even more than you are right here and now. Her honesty, talking about her parents, how she grew up, just her authenticity allowed us. And I wanted to talk about becoming. Who are you becoming right here in this moment? What are you becoming? Why are you becoming this? And so at that time, I'm glad that you asked me this, Brandon, because at that time, Joanne Price asked me, Francine, no, it was Candy Tolliver asked me, what are you becoming? She said, Francine, what are you becoming, right? Wow. And in that moment, I said, Candy, I said, I don't know. I said, but I'm going to tell you something. I know I am becoming something even greater than myself. This is bigger than myself. And I knew at that moment the work I was supposed to do. And,
listen, there were so many people there. I mean, folks were still trying to get tickets on that day, because I think folks felt and knew the significance of it. It was Francine, doing Francine's thing in terms of bringing everybody together. But it felt like you sparked that same question that you asked yourself, or that was asked of you and others. And many of us left so empowered, individually and as a community, collectively. I remember it.
And that's what I wanted to bring about. And that's what I'm saying, Brandon. It was bigger than me. It was bigger than me. And Michelle Obama opened the door for us to have the discussion. Here it is. We saw them in the White House. I mean, I sat behind them in Martha's Vineyard, her and Barack, and I was just like, at the time, I was so excited, not because of their popularity, because they were the first Black president. I mean, that of course was wonderful, but because Michelle stood for the person that we all, the everyday person, the hardworking person, the people who understood what love can do. And that is what I experienced. And that is why I am able to operate in the manner that I do today. I don't let people's perceptions or what they think I'm supposed to be doing, right?
That's right.
Because that's really their problems, not mine. I have nothing to do with that. So I just kind of move forward and keep going and doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm evolving, my evolution. I don't look at it as challenges or, what I'm supposed to be. Oh, you're a stylist, you were a stylist. But what people don't know is I also started in corporate America. I worked at Cigna Group Pension Division, downtown Hartford, for 7 years. And during that 7 years, I'm telling you, I am thankful for the professionalism, which I already had, okay?
Right.
But when I learned some things, but what it did teach me is I thank you, Cigna, but I have a greater calling on my life to do something even greater than this. And so when I was there, I'm just going to be honest, I felt like I was dying a slow death. Okay. I said, I'm dying.
That's when you know you're not purpose driven. Like you're not fulfilling your purpose in life. Oh my God.
I'm not. And I really felt like that. I felt like that. So the day when I got, when we got laid off, we had to choose whether you want to go to Dubuque, Iowa, or to keep working with Signal, or you want to take them. Yeah, I was the first one. I was like, I'll take it. And that was the beginning. And so
So
I
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this,
Mhm.
because we got about 7 more minutes left. Time.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Knowing what you know now, right? Is there anything you would have done differently when you first started out your first business journey?
Yes.
Starting your business. So what is it that you could share with some of the folks that could be watching right now, maybe watching, and they want to start their own business, or they're contemplating, like, I want to do this. I want to leave because I feel like hopefully nobody's feeling like they're dying a slow death at CREC, but nonetheless, maybe they want to start something different. What could you share with them?
First of all, I would tell anyone who wants to start a business, do your homework. Do your homework. So that's one. Two, you've got what it takes, but it's going to take everything you got. And success is not for the lazy. So what I regret is when my father told me to buy a building.
Wow.
Because he already saw in me what my potential could be. When I said I wanted to start a salon and day spa, which is fitting for Black History Month, because I want you to know I am the first day spa ever in history in Bloomfield, Connecticut, in Hartford County, the first. And so I say this to say, there was never a doubt in his mind that I was going to succeed, never. And he knew the importance of owning the property instead of renting the property. Me, I said, whoa, wait a minute.
That's too much, Daddy.
I said, I've got to do all of this. But he believed in me. He believed in me in a way I can't even put into words. He saw everything. So as I continue to evolve and do the great work that I am put on this earth to do, I will never forget that. So when I tell somebody that story and then I pour into my mentees, I remind them, I said, you are valuable. You are amazing. I said, there is nothing different in you than there is in Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama. I said, the difference is you just got to believe it. You got to believe it.
Wow. So, all right. So get ready. Okay. Brace yourself. Before we go, we got to have a little fun. Okay.
Of course.
I'm going to ask you, you don't have these questions, so you don't even got to look down. You ain't got. I'm just making up. You wait. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and this is going to be a rapid sort of response. Don't think about it. Just tell me what it is. 5 questions. Question number 1. What's your favorite color?
Are you serious?
I'm just, go. What is it?
I don't, do you need to ask?
Okay.
Do you need to
ask?
ask?
Red.
I'm torn.
All right.
Put it this way. Red, because
it could have been a part of your outfit and your lipstick.
Brandon, you have never seen me without red lipstick. It is my superpower.
Oh, no. Okay, question number 2. On your bucket list, where would you like to travel next?
On my bucket list, where would I like to travel next? I have 2. Am I allowed to?
Yes, ma'am.
2. I plan on going to the Maldives this year, and I would like to go to Ghana.
Okay. What is your favorite food?
Oh God, Brandon, how could you ask me that? Seafood is my favorite, but it's hard. I love seafood and I love vegetables, especially okra. I love okra.
I'm gonna throw in 2 more. If you had an opportunity, okay, to get whatever you want in this world, what would it be?
Peace. World peace.
And then lastly, nope, I'm not gonna ask that. What would you tell your 16-year-old self right now?
What would I tell her? I would let her know that her creativity and her love for literature and her ability to connect with people through kindness, genuine kindness, will serve her well as she continues to push on.
Well, on that note, CRECies, could you help me give a round of applause to our dear champion, our change maker, Francine Austin, a serial entrepreneur. And I am just so thankful that you, joined us on today, and we're just happy. We're proud of you. So if there is any way we could be of support to you, you let us know. Can you please just give us the name of your entertainment company again?
Of course, it's Francine Entertainment and Marketing. And if you go to www.francineaustin.com, you will see me. You will see a lot of the events I have produced, because they were events because I saw the need within my community, but also in the world. You'll see Black Doctors Day. You will see the Amistad event. You will see the event I produced for the Hartford Foundation with Nicole Hannah Jones from the 1619 Project. Yep. You know, all these things, some things I don't even talk about, you know, but Brandon, I thank you. I thank you for having me here today, being able to share my story, just a little bit of my story. And just remember, if there's anybody out there who wants to be an entrepreneur, or if you are one now and you want to evolve into even more, just remember, when people talk about greatness and they look on Forbes list, pay attention to Jimmy Buffett, Oprah. They're more than one thing. You can be whatever it is. And women, let me get into the camera right now.
That's right.
For the women, they love to tell you you can be just one thing. And they applaud men like Jimmy Buffett, right? Bob Johnson, who have done all kind of lots of different businesses and everything. Just remember, you too can be multifaceted. You too can have multiple businesses. Don't let one thing define you.
Well, thanks again, Francine. And again,
of course.
CRECies, please join us every Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, we have our hidden gems. Fridays, we will have our on the shoulders of change makers. I probably said that in the reverse order. Who knows? But just make sure you are with us every Wednesday and Friday, and look to your emails from CREC Communications on our schedule for the remaining of the month. You all take care.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for doing the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.